So in the last session, just we covered about class loaders. How many types of class loaders are there? What is the algorithm followed by class loader? Okay, how the class loader works. So what is the algorithm? What is the algorithm name? Delegation hierarchy algorithm. Are you getting delegation hierarchy algorithm? How many types of class loaders are there? 3 categories. What is the first one? Bootstrap class loader, extension class loader, application class loader. Bootstrap class loader is responsible to load classes from bootstrap class path. In the bootstrap class path, what thing is there? rt.jar is there. rt.jar contains core Java API classes. Are you getting point number 1? Next, extension class loader is responsible to load classes from extension class path. So here in the ext folder, if any dot class file is there, who is the responsible to load that dot class file is extension class loader. Next, third one, application class loader. Application class loader is responsible to load classes from application level class path. Okay, environment variable class path by default it is going to use. Highest priority will goes to bootstrap class loader, next level priority will goes to extension class loader, next level priority will goes to application class loader, right? Okay, sir, sometimes so default class loading we may not satisfy. Regarding sometime default class loading we may not satisfy. I want to customize class loading mechanism. Regarding I want to customize class loading mechanism. How we can do that? By defining our own customizer class loaders, right? Are you able to understand? Sir, by defining our own customizer class loader, we can customize class loading mechanism. Are you able to understand, right? Sir, what is the need? What is the need of customizer class loader? Just observe. Keep submitting. Need of customizer class loader. 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 Class loader. Need of customizer class loader. Okay. So here just observe. Sometimes we may have this type of problems. Suppose here just observe. I have once my server is there. And legend this one, I have the server is there. Within the already my application is running. Application 1 is running on the server. It is providing wonderful service for my clients. Then so later I realized that I want to enhance this application. I have to enhance this application. Some more new features I want to provide for my end user. Are you getting that? I want to provide to my end user some new features. That's why what I did is I have to enhance this application. So what I designed one new application with the enhanced features. With enhanced features I design a new application. One fine day I have to remove and deploy this application, and I have to deploy this new application into the server. Now onwards, this new application is responsible to provide service for the end user, right? So do you know, after deploying the new application and undeploy old application, so now my end user is always expecting what? New enhanced features, right? Even though I deployed this new application, but end user sometimes he may get old output response, old application response only. Sometimes maybe this type of problem is there. Array, I deployed new application, but still why old response is going to come? Is nothing but big question mark to the tester, the person who is testing this after performing this production move. If this new application may provide old response, then we may get shock. Are you getting? Then what we have to do? We have to restart the server and so on. We are going to do that. Or I deploy new application. Now my end user is always expecting what? New features, right? But unfortunately, that new features are not working. Forget about old response. So my expected functionality this application is not providing. Then immediately what we have to do is, we have to undeploy this new application. We have to deploy old application only. And I will do required changes within a week. In the next week, after performing required change, old application once again I will replace with a new application. Do you know, in the companies, production moves are there. Production move, go live, like production moves are there. So replace old application with a new application, perform testing. If it is working fine, then send a mail saying production move success like. Suppose after replacing with a new application, if our expected functionality is not coming, then revert back old application. What is the meaning of revert back? Remove this new application, keep old application, production move fails. Once again we are going to do in the next week with required changes, like we have to trigger a mail to all the people who are involved in that move. Are you getting the point, right? Sir, after I deployed this new application, my expected functionality not coming, then what I have to do? Revert back. Are you getting? Immediately revert back, otherwise end user is going to get affected. Revert back this new application, keep old application in the server and start providing the old response only, so that what will happen is within a week or within a month, why this one is not working, I will analyze, and after fixing that bug, now I will move once again, right? Are you getting? Sir, I deployed new application, I perform testing. I deployed new application, I perform testing, but my expected functionality is not coming. Then immediately what I have to do? Revert. Then, sir, I undeployed this new application and I copy paste which one? And I deployed which one? Old application. After deploying old application, now my end user has to get which response? Old response. So old response, because end user is currently getting old, so old response has to get, then I will fix. But after deploying this old application, but still in the testing, so I am getting new output only, then what is the feeling of me? Are you getting right? Are you getting my point? This type of problem we faced once in my company while working on my project, sir. So I undeployed old application, I deployed new application, I started the server, okay, but my expected functionality is not coming. Then I undeployed new application, I deployed old application, then I tested. Now I have to get which response? Old response, but now new response is coming. And really I got shocked. Array, in Telugu we have one wonderful proverb, Ondadi poindi. So I tried to fix the problem, old application replaced with a new application, and I am trying to get more enhancer feature, but instead of that, okay, not working, then remove, at least keep old application. Old application is also responding abnormally. Whenever I deployed old application, then I am getting new application response. Then really I got shocked. This problem is nothing but very common problem in the production environment. Do you know, we faced 2 days, one application in the live down is nothing but because of this problem. My client gave left and right like anything to my team. Okay, this because one major application which is down for 2 days, then how much business impact to the client? Observe this. Suppose here assume Airtel call connecting application, 2 days call connecting application down. Then what I have to do? Then whenever I am trying to make a call to my friend being end user, then boss currently not connecting, so please try after some time. Like if this message, if I am getting continuously 2 days, then what is the feeling of me on the Airtel or otherwise service provider? Is always a problem. That's why, so then the client gave left and right. So 2 days we took time to fix this problem. What the problem is? Legend this one. Sir, this whole application developed in 2005. New application developed in 2014, assume that. New application developed in 2014. Here, test.jsp is there. Legend this one. Test.jsp is there. Here also, test.jsp is there. Now, legend a bit very carefully. A bit technical words I am trying to explain. I am trying to keep my one experience, whatever I faced in my project. Test.jsp is there. In the 2005, we deployed this application. Up to 2014, Apple is providing the response. In the JSP, when the .class file will be generated, at the time of first request. In the 2005, we send a first request. That's why test.jsp, of course, test.jsp underscore class or test underscore class.jsp, something, the corresponding .class file got generated. But with which timestamp? 2005. Now, currently in the server, which .class file is there? 2005 generated .class file is there in the server. Now, happily its application is working. For enhancement purpose, what I did is I removed and deployed this application. Then I deployed this new application. In the new application also test.jsp is there, but this test.jsp is developed in which year? 2014. Now after deploying, I send a first request. Now which dot class file will be generated? 2014 related dot class file got generated. Okay, like not working properly. If it is not working properly, then what I did is I undeployed this application, undeployed this new application. Then I kept old application once again in the server. Are you getting? Now observe the point. Old application I kept in the server. Now which JSP file is there? 2005 generated JSP file, 2005 written JSP. But a dot class file, which dot class file in there in the server? 2014 related dot class file is there. Now I am sending the request to my old application. Web server is always going to check for this JSP dot class file already generated or not. Are you getting? Yes. Is it already dot class file is there in the server or not? Yes. What is the timestamp? What is the timestamp of this new one? 2014. But what is this one? 2005. Boss, updated dot class file is there. What is the need of translating this JSP once again? Like now this dot class file is trying to provide the response for the end user, even for the old application. Are you getting the point, right? Whenever we undeployed this new application, the corresponding dot class files are there in the server. Are you getting? Even though we deployed new application, then the problem is, sir, updated timestamp dot class file is there. What is the need of translating? Like my server is going to fail. This new dot class file generated response only coming to the end user. So for this whole application also. Are you getting? The people who can able to think, who are having a bit knowledge on high end, these people can able to understand. Are you getting right? Because my server, what algorithm it is following? Whenever server is required to translate my JSP page, it will check dot class file already there or not. If the dot class file .jsp, if dot class file is the recent, oh, boss, new one is there, not required to translate. So .jsp is related to which year? 2005. But dot class file related to which year? 2014. Then automatically for this .jsp already dot class file is there with the same name. That's why I don't want to translate once again. This dot class file is responsible to provide response for the end user. Like this problem we identified. And what we did here, 2 days we are unable to fix the problem. Then one expert person we contacted. That person what he did is, what problem you are facing? We told immediately, boss, whenever we undeployed new application, there are some dot class files are there in the server cache. Remove those dot class files, then automatically the problem will be solved like he told. Then sir, where in the cache where the dot class files are available, like he told some classes folder, like then we opened the, we clear all those things and we deployed old application once again. We restarted the server, then old application providing the proper response. How much time we took? 2 days time. The client gave left and right like anything about this issue. Are you getting that? Okay, this sir, here my server, this is the problem we faced with WebLogic 7.1. Currently WebLogic version 10. 10 WebLogic 10, but we faced this problem in the WebLogic 7.1 version. This problem, sir, whenever updated dot class file is there, okay, then .jsp won't participate in the translation because dot class file timestamp is more. Timestamp comparison is going to be happen internally. That's why the problem came. Are you getting? That's why next time onwards, in the next newer version, WebLogic people fixed this problem. Whenever we are undeploying an application, all the corresponding related dot class files also will be removed from the server. If these dot class files won't be removed, this type of problem by default we are going to face. Are you getting the thing? Sir, default, my web server. So default class loading mechanism may not meet my requirement. It causes some problems, right? Are you getting? That's why I don't want to depend on default class loading. Are you getting? Default class loading, the problem is, once a dot class file is loaded, every time it's always going to use that loaded dot class file only, even though some change is available for the .java file. That's why, so even .java file updated, but dot class file is always old dot class file only, because default class loading, once a dot class file is loaded, it is always going to use existing dot class file. It won't load updated dot class file. Is the problem, right? Okay, this sir, sometimes we may not satisfied with the default class loading mechanism. Then what we have to do is nothing but we have to customize class loading mechanism by defining our own customizer class loaders. Are you able to understand, right? Whether you got this scenario or not, just observe. Sometimes default class loading may not meet our programming requirement. To customize class loading mechanism, we should go for what? Defining our own customizer class loaders, right? Clear for all of you? Now let me put this total discussion in simple words so that you can able to understand well. Here, legend this one. Very important terminology, and not that much easy. Okay. Here just observe the terminology well. Here I have one. Here just observe. This is my program. Assume that this is my program. Here see. Here this is my program or something. Program like. Sir, in this I am using student s is equal to new student. Student s1 is equal to new student. Student s2 is equal to new student. Student s2 is equal to new student. Dot student s3 is equal to new student. Okay. Student s100 is equal to new student. Are you getting? Dot. So do you know how many times we are using student class in our program? Multiple times. Hundreds of times we may use a single class. But here, how many times dot class file will be loaded? How many times dot class file will be loaded? Only once. Even though we are using a class multiple number of times, but loading is going to be happen only once. Clear for all of you, right? Sir, first time load student dot class file. Whenever we are using first time load. Whenever JVM come across any class, immediately JVM will check. Is it already loaded in the memory or not? Is it already loaded in the memory or not? Already loaded. If it is already loaded, it never going to send the request to class loader subsystem. Already loaded dot class file only will use. First time is nothing but what? Load. Second time onwards what? Use. Because default class loading mechanism, how it is defined? I required one dot class file. Immediately JVM will check, is it already loaded in the memory or not? If it is already loaded in the memory, use that. Don't load once again. This is the default class loading. Now what will happen? Here use. In all remaining cases are nothing but what? Use like this. This is about program 1. The problem here, have you observed? How many times we are using dot class file? How many times we are using class? 100 times. But how many times we are loading dot class file? Only once. This is the default class loading mechanism, right? But now what is the problem, sir? What is the problem in this? Happily class loading is going to happen one time. But the problem is, listen a bit carefully. After loading outside environment, student dot class file modified. Student dot Java modified, under student dot class file got modified. But already old dot class file loaded in the memory. Are you getting? Meanwhile, it is modified. Meanwhile, this one is modified, dot class file modified. But now the problem is, whenever I am using second time, simple JVM is going to check, is it already there in the memory or not? If it is already there in the memory, use already existing. So this is, if I followed this approach, updated dot class file may not available to my program because it's already loaded, right? That's why the problem is coming. The total rest of the program always going to run with the old loaded dot class file only. Even though modified dot class file is available, this one may not available to our program. Are you getting? That is the problem with the default class loading, right? What I have to do is, I want to customize this mechanism with the customizer class loading. Simple. First time load dot class file. First time load dot class file. Second time onwards, you are checking is it already loaded or not. Array, in addition to that, is it already loaded or not? First check. Second check, is it modified in the outside environment or not. Sir, either updated dot class file is available or not. Check that. If updated dot class file is available, load the updated dot class file only second time. Are you getting that? If it is not updated, use already loaded dot class file. If I want to do this extra, then default class loading can't do that. For that, what we have to do is nothing more. We have to customize our loading mechanism. Are you able to understand that? Okay. Now observe this one. If it is customizer class loading, how the behavior, right? Sir, with the customizer class loading, same program. Student S is equal to new student dot student S2 is equal to new student dot student S3 is equal to new student S100 is equal to new student S100 is equal to new student. Like this I am taking. Now first time load, what is the first time mechanism? Load student dot class file. Load student dot class file. Sir, first time load. Second time what I have to do? Take a bit special care. Second time what I have to do? Check is it modified or not. If it is modified, load the updated dot class file. If it is not modified, use already loaded dot class file. Sir, check whether student dot class is modified or not. Check student dot class is modified or not. If it is modified, analogy, if it is modified, load the updated dot class file. Load updated dot class file. If it is not modified, sir, load updated dot class file. If it is not modified, sir, can you tell if it is not modified? Use already loaded dot class file. Sir, I want to keep this behavior. Okay, I want to keep this behavior next time onwards. Are you getting? Default class loading, customizer class loading, observe the mechanism, right? Are you able to understand? Sir, can you tell what is the problem in the first approach? Every time old dot class file only user by the, so my application, even the updated dot class file is available. But what is the advantage in the second approach? Is nothing more, updated dot class file by default available. Updated dot class file by default available to our program. So if we are not satisfied with the default class loading, we can customize class loading mechanism by using our own customizer class loaders. Clear for all of it? So either defining customizer class loader, is it advantage feature or not? Yes. When we will go for usually this approach, especially while designing our own JVMs, while designing servers, especially servers, default class loading, server may not happy. That's why server specific class loading mechanism, if we want to implement, then server developers are going to use this type of approach. Being a programmer in general, very rare, but while developing servers, is nothing but the server developers are going to use this type of approach, right? I hope you people aware. WebLogic 7.1 using this approach. Are you getting? WebLogic 10 using this approach. Are you getting? Observe the difference, right? Updated server follow this type of approach. Old server may follow this type of approach. Okay, at this point, need of customizer class loader. At this point, default class loaders will load. default class loaders will load dot class file. Default class loaders will load dot class file. Will load dot class file only once. Default class loaders will load dot class file only once. Only once. Default class loaders will load dot class file only once. Even though we are using multiple times. Even though we are using multiple times. Even though we are using multiple times that class file, that class, even though we are using multiple times that class in our program. Next one. After loading dot class file, if it is modified outside, then default class loader won't load. Default class loader won't load updated version of class file. Default class loader won't load updated version of class file. Default class loader won't load updated version of class file within bracket because dot class file already available in method area. Dot class file already available in method area. Next para. We can resolve this problem. By defining our own customized class loader. We can resolve this problem by defining our own customized class loader. Our own customized class loader. Next, the main advantage of customized class loader is we can control. The main advantage of customized class loader is we can control class loading mechanism based on our requirement. We can control class loading mechanism based on our requirement. For example, next line. For example, we can load dot class file. Separately every time. So that updated version available to our program. Updated version available to our program. Okay, that's all. Are you getting the point, right? Okay, sir, load every time separately. Updated version is there, but so first time load use already loaded dot class file. This is default class loading or customized class loading? Default class loading. This is a default class loading or customized class loading? Customized class loading. Observe the difference, right? Okay, now here default class loading. Now listen, default class loading. What is this one? Customized class loading. Okay, take both the diagrams. Take both. default class loading, customized class loading. Completed, right? I hope completed, right? Default class loading, customized class loading. Check whether student.class is modified or not. If it is modified, load updated .class file. If it is not modified, use already loaded .class file. So what is the need? Need of customized class loader. If we are not satisfied with default class loading, then we can go for customized class loader. Completed, right? Clear, I hope. Okay, completed, right? Next, keep subheading. How to define customized class loader. How to define customized class loader. Customized class loader. How to define customized class loader. Okay, completed up to this one. Completed, right? This part. How to define customized class loader. Okay, now just observe the point well. How to define customized class loader? Very simple. Sir, here just observe the conclusion or observe the point well. Sir, every class loader in Java, whether it is the default class loader or customized class loader, every class loader in Java should be child class of java.lang dot java.lang dot class loader class. Are you getting? Java.lang dot class loader class. Every class loader so should be child class of class loader, either directly or indirectly. Then how we can define our own customized class loader? Simple, by extending this class. Sir, class loader is a Java class only. Do you know? Have you remembered? Extension class loader, application class loader, Java class name we can able to see. Same thing here. How we can do that? Here, public class customized custom class loader. Sir, custom class loader or customizer class loader extends what ana? Extends class loader. Extends a class loader. Okay. In this, just we have to override one method. Which method? In the class loader, which method is responsible to load our class is load class method. So, sir, default class load class method I am not satisfied. Then what I will do? So, load, okay, override load class method. Now, public, after loading, here, can you please load class? Load class is the method name. Then what argument it is expecting? Class name. Sir, which class? Class name, string, class name. Which class you want to load? After loading, which thing I have to return? Here see, sir, check for updates, and load updated dot class file. Pseudocode this is updated dot class file, and returns corresponding class object, and returns corresponding class object. Now, do you know what is the return type? Class. Next, if the specified dot class file may not available, you are telling, can you please load dog dot class? But a dog dot class file is not there. If a specified dot class file is not available, throws class not found exception. Throws class not found exception, because you are expecting dog class, but a dog dot class file is not there in your system. Then throws class not found exception, right? Okay. So this is the way how to define customizer class loader. Pseudocode, being a developer, usually we never going to involve in that. Just how to get is nothing but pseudocode you should aware. Next, sir, how to use this one? Now, class client, assume that public static void main string array accept. Public static void main string array accept. Sir, first time dog d1 is equal to new dog. Sir, which class loader is responsible to load this class? Customizer class loader or default class loader? Default class loader, because even though I wrote, I didn't use in my program. By default, which class loader is the responsible? This one, default class loader. Now what I have to do? Let me create customizer class loader. Sir, I am creating custom class loader CL is equal to custom class loader CL is equal to new custom class loader. Sir, I am creating my own customizer class loader object. Next time onwards, whenever I want to use a dog, don't give the chance to default class loader. Better to give the chance for this customizer class loader. Simple. CL dot load class. CL dot load class. What is the argument it's expecting? String. Okay, dog. Are you getting? Now it is going to load updated dot class file, so that updated dot class file available to our program. Okay. Next, after some time, sir, I want to use the dot class once again. check for update. If it is already updated, can you please load updated version? How you can give cl dot load class which one dog. Okay, dot like end of the main method and the end of the class. Are you able to get? First time default class loader, next time onward which class loader is the responsible to load dot class file is nothing but customizer class loader. Customizer class loader always check for update. If it is already updated, happily updated version by default available to our program. Is it clear for all of you? Pseudo code how to define our own customizer class loader. Simple. Write a Java class that extends class loader and override which method? Override load class. Have you observed load class method? So that automatically this is the way how to define customizer class loader. Are you getting at this point? Yeah, done. How to define customizer class loader? Under that add the theory. We can define our own customizer class loader. We can define our own customizer class loader. We can define our own customizer class loader by extending java.lang dot by extending java.lang dot class loader class by extending java.lang dot class loader java.lang dot class loader java.lang dot class loader class. Okay, take this code now. Public class so just here do you know first time sir loaded by default class loader. Next time loaded by customized class loader. Take a bit special care. Check for update and load updated dot class file and returns corresponding class. Under this one loaded by default class loader, loaded by customizer class loader. Completed, right? Public class load class string class name throws a class not found exception. Check for updates and load updated dot class file and returns corresponding class. I hope is clear for all of you. Not required to keep much explanation about this one. Completed, right? Can okay, just a pseudo code, of course. So this is the people really who are interested to design your own customized class loaders. Just a just the basic idea only I'm providing for you people. Okay, take a note. Sir, can you tell when usually we can go for customized class loaders? While designing web servers and application servers, this type of class loading mechanism compulsory we should go for. Okay, this add while designing, while developing, any word you can use, while developing web servers and application servers, while developing web servers and application servers, while developing web servers and application servers, usually we can go for customized class loaders. We can go for customized class loaders to customize class loading mechanism, to customize class loading mechanism. Okay, that's all. So one important question, so for the interview room I want to explain very important question. Make sure you people should have. Can you explain about class loader class, or what is the need of class loader? Can you tell what is the use of this class loader class to define our own customized class loaders, right? Better to take interview question. What is the need? What is the need or use? For the need or use of class loader class? What is the need or use of class loader class? Okay, under that head we can use java.lang.classloader class. We can use java.lang.classloader class to define our own customized class loaders. Next, every class loader in Java, every class loader in Java should be child class of. Every class loader in Java should be child class of. Every class loader in Java should be child class of java.lang.classloader class. Either directly or indirectly. Hence this class acts as base class. This class acts as base class. This class acts as base class for all customized class loaders. This class acts as base class for all customized class loaders. That's all. So what is the use of class loader class is nothing but like, I hope you people can aware, This total thing is nothing but module 1 in JVM architecture. Are you getting right? The first module talks about what? Class loader subsystem. Okay, we covered. So class loader subsystem is responsible. Class loader subsystem is responsible for 3 activities. Have you remembered? So loading, linking, and initialization. What is the meaning? We covered already. And initialization. Linking means, once again, 3 activities are there. What is the first one? Verify, prepare, resolve. Okay, like. And after explaining this part, we went for types of class loaders. Have you remembered? In Java, how many types of class loaders are there? We covered already. How many categories are there? 3. What is the first one? Bootstrap class loader. Second one, extension class loader. Third one, application class loader. Okay, like. Next, what is the algorithm? How class loader works? How class loader works? We covered this example also. So class loader will follow which algorithm? Delegation hierarchy algorithm, right? Okay, this is. And after that, what is the need of customizer class loader? Need of customizer class loader. What is the next one? We covered how to define our own customizer class loader. Our own customized class loader, like. That's all. This total cinema whatever we covered is nothing but module 1 in the JVM architecture, class loading subsystem, right? Clear for all of you, right? Okay, this is. What is the second module we have to discuss? Various memory areas present inside JVM, right? Okay, keeps happening. Various memory areas present inside JVM. Various memory areas present inside JVM. Various memory areas present inside JVM. Present inside JVM. Now, so just we had a talk about the first module, class loader subsystem. Now the second module we are ready to start. Various memory areas inside JVM, right? Now, what is the job of JVM? Simple. To load and run Java program. Are you getting? To load and run Java program. To load and run Java program, there are some memory areas are required, because .class file I have to load somewhere. Whenever I am executing a program, objects are required to create. Those objects are required to store somewhere. Local variables are required to store somewhere. Like, so some memory is required to organize the things. Are you getting? Total JVM memory is divided into 5 parts. Are you getting that? Total JVM memory is organized into how many categories? 5 categories, right? What is the first category? Do you know what is the first one? Method area. First one, we method area. Second one is what? Heap area. Method area, heap area. Next, what is the third one? Stack area. Method area, heap area, stack area. Fourth one, PC registers. Fifth one, native method stacks. Native method stacks. Are you getting? So total JVM memory organized into how many memory areas are nothing but these 5 memory areas, right? At this point, clear. Yeah. Various memory areas of JVM. And whenever JVM loads and runs a Java program. Loads and runs. Whenever JVM loads and runs a Java program, it needs memory. It needs memory to store. It needs memory to store several things. Like bytecode, objects, variables, etc. Like bytecode, objects, variables, etc. bytecode objects, variables, etc. Next para. Total JVM memory organized into the following 5 categories. Total JVM memory organized into following 5 categories. Okay, add. First one, method area. First one, method area, heap area, stack memory, PC registers, PC registers. Next one, native method stacks. PC registers, native method stacks. PC registers, native method stacks. Okay. Now, first one, method area. Sir, do you know per JVM how many method areas are there? Analogy, for every JVM one method area will be there. For every JVM one method area, one heap area, like. So stack memory is the different. I will explain. For every JVM one method area will be there. Sir, when the method area will be created? When the method area? At the time of JVM startup. Whenever we start the JVM, automatically method area by default will be created. So for every JVM, one method area available. Method area will be created at the time of JVM startup. Okay. Next, inside method area, which data will be stored? Okay. Total dot class file data. Total dot class file will be loaded into which area na? Method area only. I hope you know this loading. At the time of class loading I explained. Total dot class file will be dumped into method area. First thing. Next, so at the time of class loading, static variables will be created. Where the static variables will be stored? In the method area only. Are you getting? Sir, method area, which thing will be saved? The total dot class file bytecode, binary data, total dot class file binary data will be stored in the method area, and the corresponding static variables also will be stored in the method area only. So in method area, static variables will be stored, and the class level binary information will be stored inside method area. Are you getting? Next, sir, method area can be accessed by multiple threads simultaneously, because per JVM how many method areas are there? Only one method area. Common area, global memory accessed by multiple threads. That's why the data which is stored inside method area is not thread safe. Are you able to understand? It's not thread safe because multiple threads are allowed to access simultaneously. So the data which is stored inside method area is not thread safe. Okay, this. Next, inside JVM, don't feel method area is continuous memory. Okay, maybe a chance part by part also available. Suppose assume it is the JVM. Sir, it is the method area. So here also method area like, sir, need not be continuous memory. Are you getting? So first of method area, in the last some more part is considered the method area. Maybe the method area need not be continuous memory. Is it clear for all of you? Sir, how many method areas are there? Only one. At what time method area will be created? At the time of JVM startup. Sir, inside method area, which data will be stored? Class level binary information including static variable will be stored inside method area. Next, method area data can be accessed by multiple threads simultaneously. That's why, so method area data is not thread safe. Method area is not continuous memory. Is it clear for all of you? Okay, this is. Sir, inside method area, which data by default will be saved? Just I hope you people can aware, right? Okay. Suppose assume, sir, this one is the method area. Assume it is the method area. In the method area, which data by default will be there? Okay, class level data. class level data or class data, like class data by default will be there. Class data, okay, class data by default will be there, like. Any explanation is required, Anna? Okay, at this point, point by point. For every JVM, first point, for every JVM, one method area will be available. For every JVM, one method area will be available. For every JVM, one method area will be available. Second point, method area will be created. Method area will be created at the time of JVM startup. Method area will be created at the time of JVM startup. Method area will be created at the time of JVM startup. Okay, third point. Inside method area, class level binary data, including static variables. Class level binary data including static variables will be stored inside method area. Class level binary data including static variables will be stored. Including static variables will be stored. Next, constant pools of a class. Constant pools of a class will be stored inside method area. Constant pools of a class will be stored inside method area. Okay, now just take this diagram first and then the remaining things I will explain. Class level data like so are you able to understand that inside method area which data by default will be saved? Okay, next point, method area can be accessed by multiple threads simultaneously. Method area can be accessed by multiple threads simultaneously. Multiple threads simultaneously. So method area data need not be continuous, right? I hope you people can aware, sir, what is method area, which data by default will be there, and is it thread safe or not, how many method areas are there, and at what time method area will be created. Now the terminology is clear.